Hey guys, welcome back to the cabin. It is another cold and dreary, cloudy weekend. And I think what I'd like to do is it's been tradition that I usually do a year in review to remind people of the things that we're able to accomplish at the cabin. And because it's just so miserable out and it's not conducive to being able to uh, put any projects together, let's do the year in review. All right, stay with us. I'm excited to show you everything we've done this year. So one of the first projects that we did in 2023 was we went ahead and we finished putting the casing around the windows and all the trim around the windows. And that was a little bit of a challenge. It was really cold. I remember that week it was so frigid out. And a lot of times, you try not to show it on camera, but it was brutal getting that stuff together. Let me show you a couple of clips of what all happened during the build there. And then if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the weekend when I got locked outside of the cabin in nothing but my boxers. And man, oh man, it was so cold out. I was just lucky that in the process of measuring the windows, for whatever reason, I unlocked one of the windows and I was able to crawl back through the window. And the whole thing was comical. I didn't record that part of it. I ended up stubbing my foot against a buried rock in the snow and I broke a toe. And oh, it was just nuts. But anyways, enjoy these clips from when we trimmed out the windows. The wife and I had date night on Thursday night. And this was our project. Sorry for the camera moving all over the place, but wanted to show you. We went ahead and put polyurethane on all this and got it all prepared so that when I head up to the cabin this weekend, we don't have to worry about handling any of this stuff in the bitter cold. It's a little bit of a trick getting the gun to fit in there. Another one of the things that we did this past year that I haven't done in the past is we went ahead and we tapped into some of these majestic maples and we made maple syrup. And I'll tell you what, those videos failed on views quite a bit. I don't know what it is about, that topic, why it would fail so miserably. But, living off grid and being out in the wilderness, part of it is having outdoor activities to enjoy. And we are on our last little jar of maple syrup right now. If you've never had maple syrup, you don't taste anything better than the syrup that you harvest off your own trees. Enjoy this next couple of clips and I'll show you the results of our tapping the maple trees. There, we got all the sawdust out of that one. All right. All we need is a warm day or two now. Keep in mind we don't have any sap running out right now because this is early in the morning. These trees are still frozen through the night. But as that sun warms up on the bark, from everything I'm told, that sap should start running. And there's the hole on the holder, and that just fits over that barbed end, and it's as easy as pie. that one's all on and ready to roll. And then on the hydrometer, it has a couple of lines. Hopefully the camera picks it up, but these lines tell you what the density of the sugar content it'll be, and it'll tell you when you're done boiling. And then look at the color difference the next time that we went. We've been sampling, and both are absolutely delicious. We love them. I couldn't tell you which one I like over the other. They both have their own unique flavor. If you remember the spring of 2023, it was absolutely brutal. We had a mild winter with very little snow at first, and then once the end of January and February came, the heavens opened up and we got hit hard with really heavy snow, and old man winter just didn't want to let go. This is the first year that I got my well going and had it freeze on me, and we actually ended up having the well pump freeze and get some damage. And so yeah, we had to rebuild Old Faithful, and so that was one of the videos that we did a specialty on too, so that any of you that may have, you know, simple off-grid cabins with Sandpoint well, hopefully that would help you out in the matter of, you know, if you had to rebuild your well pump. So here's going to be a short clip to remind you of that Carl's Off the Grid episode. That's the problem right there. Here, I'll grab the camera and I'll show you what happened. All right, so this is like the check valve, and you can see this leather gasket, for whatever reason, has slid over sideways, and it's not making any type of seal. This hole here shouldn't be there. So we're going to get rid of this thing, and we'll go ahead and put in a new gasket. And I went to the hardware store. I know a lot of you guys are going to ask for links for these products. I don't have any links to share. Rather, I just went to my Ace hardware store in town here, and they had just generic kits, and that kit looks like that's pretty much the kit that I need right there. It's a universal kit. So, you know, being that we were just talking about the storms of 2023, the wife and I, shortly after the winter was over, decided that we needed to do something to think about our safety while we're out here at the off-grid cabin. And, you know, just because you're off the grid, it doesn't mean you're a hermit. It's kind of funny. We had a guy giving a lesson at church, and he was referring to off-grid people like they were extremists or hermits or people that had weird ideas. In reality, we're just practical people that are smart enough to get away without having to pay all the expensive bills of living on the grid. So, being that we still want to be connected to the outside world, we went ahead and I showed people how to get their own lumber and make it waterproof. And then at the top of that pole, you can see, hopefully the camera gets it, that funny looking device up at the top of the pole. That is a cell phone booster. We went ahead and put in a cell phone booster so that we can still stay in touch with weather forecasts and things of that nature. We can still have cell phone power to call the kids if we need anything, or just check up on friends that might be living up here in the backwoods. Enjoy these clips. All right, so right now what I'm doing is, if you haven't seen this in any of my other videos, after you strip the bark off the tree, you know, stripping the bark off the tree keeps all the moisture out, and that will dry and turn into good lumber. Then we're going to go ahead and char the bottom of the tree, and that charring is going to waterproof this log.
You know, I was thinking,
Yeah.
the time that it would have taken us to go to the hardware store, get the wood, and drive all the way back, and that money that we would have spent on that,
Yeah.
you probably spent about the same amount of time that we would have spent going and getting it.
Yep.
But because you were willing to do the hard work, didn't spend a dime.
Oh, this will definitely pay off. If you just be a little bit creative, you know, that'll be a ton for your self-reliance. You can save a ton of freaking money, and there's a real sense of satisfaction once you're all done. Set up connection. We'll go over to wireless. Scanning for wireless networks. So if you see right there, we're already at excellent signal. Before, this thing would take forever to download, and we could never get anything to happen here. So I don't know. What do you think, Margaret?
Yeah, it used to take a long time, and it's pretty interesting that
Cool.
it works that well.
One of the largest projects that I took on in 2023 was we decided that we didn't want to spend any more time in the winter months making the trek out to the outhouse. So we finally decided it is time to become somewhat civilized, and we went ahead and we added the shower house. Now the shower house isn't complete yet, but I wanted to get it weathered in and at least the main structure up, so that early spring, when it's black fly season or mosquito season, we don't have to be out here getting rained on or having any of those insects bug us. And this was a really cool project. I was able to enlist the help of my son, Matt. And wow, it was just a great experience and a great way to bond with him. And I did actually about 3 videos on this. I think we showed how I framed it down at the house. Then we trailered it up here and assembled it on site. And then I did my decking and things of that nature. And yeah, it was just a great project. And this will be a great addition to the off-grid cabin. All right, let's get building. All right, we got Shorty. Shorts is doing the last minute measurements. Hey. How's it looking? Is everything measured out good? Nope. Oh, you better finish your job.
He's fixing it.
Perfect. This is what we're going to be using up at the cabin. We're pretty excited. Before we go any further, I would like to thank multiple people that have donated to the channel through the Super Thanks button. And that is, in no particular order, Todd and Tammy, Keith and Brooke, Troy Payne, Deb from Deb's Way, and Driftless Acres. They've all donated, and it is greatly appreciated that you guys are helping out. So, and we can't forget Able Plumbing Supply, who has donated the shower unit. You guys, thank you so much for your support. None of this would be possible without it. Right now it's a ton of work, but once this homestead is all done, you know, I'll be able to live fat and sassy in my older years and not have to worry about maintenance. All right, so you can see we got everything closed up there on the soffit, and I spared you doing the exact same thing on the front. All right, let's go over our yearly budget here. Utilities. Gas for heating the cabin, that would be 0. Electricity, well, that's all solar, so that'd be another 0. property taxes, that they'll have me pay until I go to the grave. So a lot of people have been asking me, Carl, now that you've been in that tiny cabin for quite some time, is it really worth it? Heck yeah. You know, a huge part of us being able to afford to have a second place to live, you know, having this off-grid cabin, is being resourceful and figuring out ways to save some money. And one of the ways that we did that this year, and it was my best year by far, was by hunting and harvesting our own meat. This year I harvested 2 world-class bucks, one with the archery and one with gun hunting. And it's amazing. As soon as both of their racks finish drying, I'm going to go ahead and have them field scored to tell us how big they are. Hey, the Lord was definitely looking out for me this year. It was just a great, great year. Probably the best year in my life for hunting and harvesting white-tailed deer. So I don't think I'm going to show you a whole bunch of the video footage from that, but here's a couple clips to show you what I did harvest. All right, you guys, as you know, I usually primarily hunt like maple trees up by the cabin, but today I'm hunting in a spot where I have found some oak trees, and it's a new spot. We're gonna creep back in there. I hear we're gonna have a little competition. I can hear somebody working in the woods. I don't know what they're doing. It sounds like a leaf blower going or something. Maybe they're clearing a trail, but we've got about 2 hours of sunlight left, and I'm good with that. Let's go back there and we'll see. At least this will be like a scouting trip. We'll see what happens, and we'll take the crossbow with us. And if by any chance we end up running into some deer, maybe we get lucky. So, all right, join me this week on Carl's Off the Grid. Let's get into the woods and see if we can provide our family with some good protein. I figured I was going to take this buck while it presented itself. He's a good buck. He's got a huge body on him. And yeah, I'm thrilled. Today is opening day for Wisconsin's gun deer hunt. And I'm going to possibly be joined by my younger son. My oldest son, Shorts, is not going to be able to make it with us today. He just bought a house, and him and his wife are in the middle of restoring that house. But we are going to head out on this chilly morning. Right now it is about 27 degrees out, and I don't know if it's good or bad, but it is supposed to warm up this afternoon into like the high 40s. And I'm going to be hunting with a 30-06. All right, there's definitely no ground shrinkage on this guy. Look at the size of that body. I can't believe that I'm fortunate enough to harvest this deer. Man, I wish my brother could be here with me. Unreal. Be cool to have my sons or my dad here too. that's a very respectable buck. So some of the behind the scene things that have been happening here at Carl's Off the Grid that I'll probably start sharing clips of this stuff in 2024 are we've been testing different products that we thought might be able to help you. Things that were not product reviews, things that we purchased that we thought would be a good investment for our cabin. This last summer we purchased a refrigerator cooler. No, I said that wrong. It would be a refrigerator freezer from Bouge RV. And it's a cool thing. It looks like a cooler would be, like you take to, you know, the park with your food in it, but it's divided in different sections. It has one section that you can get the temperature down to below freezing, so you can have your frozen goods at your cabin. And then the other half of it is a regular refrigerator where you can keep your milk and all your other different produce that you have. So if we have enough interest, we'd be willing to show you that. We had purchased more land that really expands the area and our privacy where we are. And I don't mean to let the cat out of the bag, but we are already thinking about building another cabin. And, you know, that'll probably be happening this next year. And if it doesn't fully happen, we're at least going to be starting to show you guys how we clear the land. It'll be a refresher for when we put this cabin up. I had different estimates on how much it would cost to clear the land here versus doing it ourselves. And it was ridiculous. For the little drive that we have in the area where we put the cabin, I think one of the cheapest bids we had was $9,000. So I invested $900 into renting a mini excavator, and I was able to do all the work myself. And I think it took a total of about 3 days. So that may be in the future here for 2024. You know, it all depends on where this economy takes us and what happens. This world has been getting kind of crazy lately. And so we'll see how things go. For sure, we're going to start clearing up the land and at least getting a build site ready. And I'll be sure to include you guys in that new journey in our life. Thank you guys so much for joining us again this week on Carl's Off the Grid. It is ice cold out here, so I'm going to go ahead and head into the cabin where it's nice and warm. And thank you so much for your support this last year. The channel's continuing to grow. My views are just incredible. Our weekly views on regular videos are okay. They're slowly growing, but the how-to videos are just skyrocketing. I got a notification from YouTube that I'm at over 1.5 million views right now, which is just a huge accomplishment that I never expected in a million years that I would have with this channel. You know, if you've been with us for a long time, you understand I started this channel out, and I hear this more and more now by YouTubers, so it sounds like we're all the same. When we first got the cabin here, my kids wanted to be part of the build, but they were all living out of state. And so the one way we were able to bring this into their life was the video clips were too long for us to send via, you know, text messaging or even over the computer, because I'm not a computer savvy guy. But my youngest taught me how to do YouTube, and we started to document our journey here with this cabin build through YouTube, and it just took off. I was shocked. You know, I put some silly videos together, just me spending time in the woods after we lost our lake home. And then, you know, when we thought we hit rock bottom, we found a way that we could go ahead and invest in this tiny cabin. And we were able to keep a large portion of the land up here. And my family, you know, wanted out on their sections. And so we liquidated a lot of land. But I am the last of my family. I take that back. My little sister also has a plot of land up here. You know, it was tough going through that transition. And just on a whim, I went ahead and I videotaped the cabin being brought in here, because as you know, I had just the shell delivered and everything else I did. And right off the bat, boom, we had over, I think, 300,000 views on it. And that's when I realized that, hey, you know, maybe I can make a difference and maybe I can help people out. in YouTube world, if they have their dreams kind of shattered and have to start all over again, there's definitely ways that you can do it, and you can do it on a budget and be really fulfilled and happy in doing so. And it's just, we are so pleased that we decided to build this cabin. It has brought so much joy into our life. It has brought our family closer, and importantly, it's helped me develop a ton of friendships and relationships with you guys. I enjoy answering comments every time we put a video out, and really develop some cool friendships through that. So thank you so much in our journey in the year of 2023. I look forward to everything that 2024 brings. We'll catch you next time on Carl's Off the Grid.